Hey guys, Ilya here, and this time we are in Erlenberg, one of the best maps for light tanks. So this time I'm going to show you one of the ways to help your team to attack eastern part of the map from the western. Because the sides are not identical in terms of gameplay. Once the teams secure their sides of the maps, the northern base secures the west, the southern base secures the east. There starts... Oh, come on, why are you standing? There starts the big standing. And then usually the western part of the map, so my team in this case, usually tries to attack the eastern. And then, well, whichever team gets advantage in terms of HP wins the battle in the end. So we're going to help our team to get this HP advantage and, well, as quickly as possible. But, Erlenberg is a slow map with very slow gameplay. Maybe it would be nice to have some slower gameplay in other maps, but Erlenberg is already too slow, with so many 12-minute battles, even draws, just because, the time expires. And I go to my, well, one of the most favorite positions, or maybe I should say routes, which is this street. So I'm just starting to drive back and forth along this street up to the bridge here, not much further to the north. And, well, I start to get assistance slowly. When you play lights, you always want to drive in, you take some super push, you spot 10 enemies, and then you get 5,000 assistance in a minute, and like the sun is shining and you're perfect, and then your teammates or my teammates write something like, "GG Scout, great job Scout, oh you're so hot and smart and not fat at all, Ilya, I want ELC from..." No, that doesn't happen on every map, unfortunately. And Erlenberg is not that kind of a map where this kind of thing can happen. You'll have to work slowly for your assistance, and the slow gameplay of the map really allows you to do that. Yeah, I shouldn't go this far to the north. So, as you can see, my view range circle grabs the very, well, the pretty small part of the ridge, but it grabs it, a bit, so it's not very deep there. It means that I spot whoever is there, because, I have boosted view range, and there are heavy tanks, there are medium tanks, there are TDs, they move sometimes. If they move, you definitely spot them. You definitely spot heavies, you most likely spot mediums. You spot most enemies. But you are far enough not to be spotted yourself, even in lights with relatively poor camo. Like, the Chinese has okay, but if you're in some Sheridan, if you're in some T-71, they have pretty poor camo, you will still feel pretty okay here. But there are a few rules to this thing. Well, first of all, you see the enemy light tank RU-251. He spotted me here. You should be ready to that. You should be ready to enemy tanks being also in the middle. They won't make you much trouble because A, you can hide in the buildings very quickly, like I did right now. And B, well, they usually can spot you only in some small particular places between buildings, so it's still relatively safe to drive back and forth. That's one thing. Second thing, as you can see, like I turned around right here, not to get too close to the bushes at the enemy base, because those bushes, they are completely crazy, because they give a very huge advantage to the enemy team. You can't spot anyone there before they fire, and they spot you, and then the whole enemy team can shoot you. There is not much cover there in that particular area, so it's better not to go there, especially in the beginning of the battle. You will be stuck somewhere there, if you push to the very bushes there. There are 3 artists, many other tanks, just better know. So that's another thing. And there is yet another thing. Don't go to the northern part of the map. Like, you could notice I was turning around somewhere around the bridge, the middle bridge. Basically, I'm going somewhere between the two bridges, the southern and the northern. Maybe you shouldn't really get too close to the southern, but, around the middle bridge, I usually turn around. Yeah, something like that. Okay, got spotted by RU-251, I guess. So you shouldn't go to the northern part because it's a bit too open. There are no high buildings you can find cover behind, and you also see that there are Moisian and E100. So the eastern team usually pushes to that area, and then those guys will just spot you, and you'll have to stand behind some building. So better avoid it. Just go back and forth and slowly get some assistance. Maybe like not in such quantities, most of the time, of course, not in such quantities. But numbers like 4,000, yeah, that's doable. 5,000, yes, of course. And if you also find some opportunities to shoot, which also happens, you know, if there is some paper targets on the ridge up there and it's blind, you know, 2 tiers lower, why not? Why not? If you're sure nobody else will spot you after your shot, okay. And that's what happens if you go to the north. I thought, I can shoot E100. I just pointed the gun and I missed. Okay. And boom. Well, I hit the building. I mean, I couldn't drive around the building because stupid driving. But still, you just see how open it is. And like, now I can be shot just in the back. Yeah, I was lucky that I bounced this one, but this was a mistake and I shouldn't have gone there. There was no reason, really. Now RU-251 is dead and I'm completely safe again. The enemies can't see me at this distance, but I can see everyone, just getting more and more and more. The enemy tanks still can't understand that, you know, when they drive up there, they get spotted and get hit. Come on, you lost so much HP to that. Maybe, you know, one time was enough. No? Okay. But even if they all just stopped driving up onto the ridge, it still gives our team a big advantage, because then our team can cross safely to the other side of the river, just because nobody will shoot them, because nobody will show themselves. So in either case, you made good for your team. Of course, you get less assistance if the enemy team just stops looking, you know, driving on top of the ridge. But usually they still do, and as I said, you still get some 4,000 or 5,000 damage assistance on tier 9 and 10 lights, also doable in tier 8 lights. And well, the battle is going to its final stage, even though the score is only like 6-3. And enemy light, what are you doing there? Okay, I have nothing to say about it. Ooh, thank God it was STRV. You know, there is nothing worse than NL Foch. Never mind. Ow! Yeah, it's just, you know, Foch is bad because it's an autoloader, just don't think anything wrong, you know. I just hope we understand each other. Just, NL Foch is usually a big problem. Okay, time to cross the river and just finish whoever is there. Unfortunately, with broken ammo I won't do much, but, you know, it's already not that important. Once you get to the enemy positions, once you push there, you will be a pain in the neck, just because they can't do anything with you, and you can peek out anywhere. You can surprise enemies and they just can't drive out at you and kill you, because you're covered by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't matter how many tanks. You can also try to do something similar from the eastern side of the map, but it's usually not as effective, but still can work. It's still worth giving a try. I hope this was helpful for you. Use this thing, help your team, complete missions, and see you in the next videos, guys. Good luck.